Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
You just elbowed me for a reason?
No, baby.
Did y'all see that? Start the morning off with the salt? Jesus Christ. Good morning. This is I'm talking to you purpose-driven people, purpose-driven people. What are you here to do? Who are you here to serve? I like our topic today. The topic today is, who are you here to serve? This is DrLisa Santiago McNeill.
And he is Brian McNeill.
And together we make up what's called the Empowerment Duo. So I'm looking forward to an engaging conversation today on this Wisdom Wednesday. And at 9:15, we are blessed yet again from an inspirational message from our inspirational speaker, Mr. Mark Greer. Yep. So I was about to ask you a question, but let's get this yarn first. So when you hear the topic of who are you here to serve? I put yo serve. Who are you here to serve? What comes to your mind?
Actually, what comes to my mind is it's another phrasing of what's your purpose.
Okay.
We had an amazing women's empowerment last night. And one of the things that is always a resounding theme is that you're often here to serve who you were when you needed the most help.
Yeah, flashlight on that.
Because what happens is sometimes we get reflective, sometimes we get frustrated, sometimes we get angry. Mm-hmm. And nobody helped me when I was doing this. But the thing is, whatever what it is that you were going through, you're not still there.
Okay, you've been through that.
You've been through it. Right, you got through it. So however you got through it, you learned something along that way. You learned about your resilience. You learned about your aptitude. You learned about your personal abilities to figure things out. And in that process, you may have also learned something unique about yourself that you would not have otherwise discovered if you had not been in that scenario.
So your premise is very often we're here to serve, or our purpose could be what we needed when we needed it.
Right.
If we had a need for some guidance, but we didn't have any guidance, maybe we may want to guide others because we know what it's like to not have the guidance. If we need protection and don't have protection, we may often feel we want to teach others how to protect themselves.
Yeah, and even as we're having this conversation on Monday night in the Sales Confidence Mastery Group, one of the things that was very resounding for me is the level of passion that came from one of the entrepreneurs whose business is built upon the premise of never doing everything that she could to ensure that another family didn't have to go through what she went through.
Right. I think we're thinking about the same business. Her business is, looking out for children in their most vulnerable times. On their way to school and on their way home from school.
Good morning, Uzama. Good morning, Desiree.
Desiree Lee. What a cool name, first off. Desiree Lee. Coming to the stage, Desiree Lee. Good morning, Uzama. And thinking about today's topic, I remember when I was living in Greensboro, and I was a part of a Toastmasters group. And there was this woman there, Miss Terry, and they asked her, the question came to what's her purpose in life.
Hey, Dr. Deborah.
She asked the question. I was thinking about what's my purpose in life. And I have decided that my purpose in life, and she said this with passion, my purpose in life is to be his wife and their parents. Those boys. She had 2 sons. My purpose in life is to be his wife and their mom. Okay. And she found meaning and purpose to that. that's who she feels like she was here for. That's who she feels like she's here to serve.
And that can be a noble purpose.
It could.
Here's a
But
challenge
it's
with
but it's
that.
another side to that too. Go ahead.
Right. The
Mhm.
challenge to that is when you're not in control of all of the elements of that scenario.
Okay.
So now if your purpose was to be his wife and their mother, that may not always align with their purpose.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of a different angle.
Yeah, that might not align with their purpose. Or it simply may have a time frame. That's another thing that I get to work with women on. A lot of times things evolve outside of our control. What if she became a widow?
Right. Or what if
Right?
the child
What if something
leave
happened
or
to her children, or they
yes.
get married, they get older? Sometimes you lose your identity in
That's
that
my point.
situation, which is why it's so important to understand the evolution of who you serve.
And that's interesting you should say that because it'll change.
Mhm.
Who are you here to serve? DrLisa says.
This came at the right time. Well, okay, I'm
And
glad. Buckle
Desiree,
up, buttercup.
you're right. It did come at the right time for you and maybe for somebody else.
Mhm.
It did come at the right time. This question, who are you here to serve? How to transition from single to wife.
Please know that that's a whole thing.
And it is. It ain't the same
It
person.
is a whole
It
thing.
requires different muscles and different skills
And different willingness to understand.
and different levels of patience.
Yeah.
It ain't the same thing. Okay. Thank you very much for that
It
point.
is really not the same thing because even in transitioning from single to wife, depending on what you're thinking about it was, it can be frustrating. It can be really frustrating. Dr. Deborah says, "Hey, Lisa, can you connect me with Patrina Mattier? She wanted to talk to me, and I've tried to connect with her here on Facebook, but to no avail."
Absolutely, we
Honey,
can.
we can, but she is. Yes, I will connect.
I can get you to her, okay? Because she does have a cell phone and she does answer the phone. She answers my calls.
When she gets around.
She answers my calls, okay?
She loves my husband. No, she
Who are
answers
you
my
here?
call too.
Who are you
But
here
I'll
to
connect.
serve is a big question. Too. But there's other side. I want to go back to Terry for just a moment because she said, I'm here to be his wife and I'm here to be their mom. And we just discussed that that's great and that is noble. And I love that she found meaning in it, but it could be for a period of time
Right.
because their circumstances can change. Circumstances can change. Need the trash can?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, circumstances do they change, and oftentimes they need to change.
They need to change.
Many of you know a daddy's girl or a mama's boy that somebody needed to put out the pasture a long time ago.
Yeah.
But understanding there was nothing wrong with them being the mother until it was time to be the mentor. There's nothing wrong with them being the father or the daddy until it's time to, to give her to her husband. And I know that those sound like antiquated words, and I'm not telling anyone that they have to be married. I am just responding from my own personal thoughts.
I want to lift this up, and I appreciate you, Desiree. I'm ready to buy that book. She goes, yes. I wrote a book 3 years ago, and it won an award. It was called 932. The 9 most important words, the 3 most important skills, and the 2 most important questions. Now, the words included words like courage and love and the power of the word no and integrity. But the 2 most important, 3 most important skills was, ability to lead, ability to communicate, ability to sell. But the 2 most important questions is what are you here to do and who are you here to serve? What are you here to do and who are you here to do that? If you can, I trouble you to go get it. The copy's on my desk. Okay. Well, it used to be your desk.
Can you read Dr. Deborah's comments?
Yes, I can read Dr. Deborah's comments. I know how to read. Okay. Dr. Deborah says circumstances do change. What happens when I'm no longer a wife or a mom? Yeah, you can't that's a circumstantial change, and you can't be the same person. Thank you, baby. Okay. Did you? I didn't see
I
it.
did. I rolled them big and
Did
hard.
y'all see her roll her eyes when I asked her to get the book?
I did just like that.
This is the book, 932. And this is my character, Mr. Randall the Rhino. And he's talking to his daughter because he wants her to be happy and successful in life. She's about 9 in this story. But he's teaching her powerful words like words like courage and what it means to your life and your success. The three most important skills that you need to master during the course of your life. But the two most important questions: what are you here to do, and who are you here to serve? I like them both questions, but what are you here to do? A lot of it is dependent upon your natural inclinations and your natural talents, what you just happen to be good at.
You can get the book on Brian's website directly. Thank you, thank
Brian
you.
K. McNeill Speaks.com.
.com, or you can get it from Amazon. Either way.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say thank you, Dr. Deborah. She said, I love those earrings. Thank
Brian
you.
K. McNeill, and on Amazon it's called 9. Just look up books by Brian K. McNeill.
Absolutely.
There's 9 of them there.
I don't want to glaze over the fact that there are seasons when we do get stuck because we don't understand the evolution of where we are.
This is an important point. You're right.
Circumstances do change. And sometimes they change outside of your control, and sometimes they change because they need to change.
A mom has to educate her children, and for a season, she's the teacher and the cab driver and the chauffeur.
Mm-hmm.
But when those kids get up and get grown and gone, she's not their teacher like that anymore. I was fearful when I mentioned Terry's thing about I'm here to be his wife, and because some people, I do believe, maybe even women more than men, lose their identity there. They might have forgotten that I went to college as well, and I got some skills too, and I know how to help there.
And it's not even that type. Not sometimes it's not even that deep. I have been more dependent in the last 5 years of our marriage than I have ever been in my entire life.
Dependent upon
about my husband.
Oh.
I've never. It was a new position for me to even allow myself to be dependent upon my husband, who happens to be this guy right here.
Yes, because we're married.
Because I have been an advocate for women's independence.
I imagine.
For many years.
Yes, you were preaching it and teaching it.
You don't let nobody take care of you. You always have your own
money. Mm-hmm. You was preaching to women that no woman should be stuck in a situation because of lack of money. Mm-hmm. Sister, you have skills that can be monetized. So my sister, you can earn your money. You don't have to be dependent upon a man. That was her ministry when I met her. Okay.
And it's still
her ministry.
But I realized in the process that even though we've been married for 10 years, Desiree, that even though that is my mantra, I'm grateful that I did not make it my mantle.
Okay.
Because God gave me a different marriage that I had the opportunity to evolve into safely.
I love that. You didn't make it your mantle, but you were able to evolve into safely. Frankly, when I look back in the moments that we first met 11 years ago, you were the central point of your world. Mm-hmm. Everybody came to you for help. Mm-hmm. All the women came to you for guidance. You were teaching all the time. You were coordinating stuff all the time. You had she had an office, a suite of offices, two main offices in a conference room. She also had a driver. She had a driver, okay, a young black belt. Okay, this girl couldn't fight too, but her driver took her job very, very seriously. And Lisa was, the queen of her world around her, and she was preaching and teaching, and very effectively. She was also very active in her ministry, and her whole world was around her purpose. It was all about purpose. It was all about favor, because even how she brought in money was dependent upon favor and purpose. So, but when I came into the scene, Brian came in, bull in the China cabinet. Maybe that's not quite right, okay? But I came in big. I started giving my classes at her office, and I started making some decisions. I even had one lady didn't like it. She goes, "Not everybody appreciates you coming in here, Brian, and changing things." And I didn't give a daggone what she said, because I was still going to do what I said. But I thought it was cute that she thought she could tell me off. Dr. Deborah, you should have seen her.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Deborah. She says, wow, Dr. Lisa, that is profound. Dependency is not a 4-letter word.
healthy relationship. I don't want to miss the comments. Can you scroll back up again?
Yes, that's what we had a couple of comments. And Uzama, we need to hear from the men in the building as well. We answered that.
Okay.
Amen. I'm so glad.
Desiree says it again. This is the second time I needed this. So beautiful.
I'm so glad that you found us today. Amen. So understanding that it was a difficult shift also to see, hey Susan, to see.
And thank you for congratulating me on my book, Susan.
Being in a position where I could, for lack of a better word, let my guard down in a safe place.
Or trust in someone, but you had to evolve to that,
Yes.
which I think is significant.
It is.
Who are you here to serve? We've kind of already touched on the point that it's a moving target too. In 1 minute from now, we're going to bring up Mark Greer. Every Wednesday, we call Wednesdays Wisdom Wednesday, and every Wednesday at 9:15, we have a submission of about 5 minutes from our resident inspirational speaker. His name is Mark Greer. It's 9:15 now. Let's hear what Mark Greer has to say.
Let's hear what Brother Mark has to say. Hang with me. I got to get him up there, and then I got to start the recording.
Empowerment Duo family, it's your boy. I'm back for another edition of Wisdom Wednesday. I want to share with you an experience I had recently. I got to talk to a man who told me he was an ex-prisoner. He had just been released from prison about 6 months ago. And as I listened to him, I said, "What did you call yourself?" And he said, "An ex-prisoner." And I told him, "Today is your lucky day. Nothing happens by coincidence. Today is the day that we free you."
Yeah.
And he said, "No, man, they let me out 6 months ago." And I said, "No, brother. You told me that you're an ex-prisoner. It means you are still mentally incarcerated. And this day is the day that we free you." So I asked him his name, and he gave me his name. And I said, "From this day forward, this is who you identify yourself as." And I repeated his name. And I said, "Say your name to me." And he did. I said, "So who are you?" And he repeated his name. I said, "We're going a step further." I said, "You don't even realize it yet because being incarcerated has taken your identity and it has infiltrated your mind. Today we free you. And I need you to understand, not only are you who you are a king. And I need you to think like one. I need you to carry yourself like one. I need you to speak like a king." And I said, "Brother, you are a black man. And that means something. And that means you carry yourself with the pride, the dignity, and the excellence of those who came before you. I don't care what mistake you have made. Until you free your mind, until you unlock the chains that mentally have you bound, until you unlock this thing here and say, today, I grant myself my own emancipation proclamation. This is the day that I declare my freedom from everything that has held me back, from every mistake I've made, for everything that I have done did not work out. For those people I hurt, for those people I had let down, today is the day that I free myself so I can live the rest of my life as it was intended to be lived." Empowerment Duo family, have you made a mistake, done something that you know you shouldn't have, and have you forgiven yourself for it? Or have you sought out other people to forgive you? Have you looked for validation from other people? Have you looked for others to accept you? Let me give you some advice this morning. If you want to forgive someone, forgive yourself. If you want someone to validate you, you be the one to provide that validation. If you want someone to accept you, you must first accept yourself, all your flaws, all your imperfections, all your mistakes. But after you do that, you understand something. I have another chance. It's not a second chance. It's a chance.
Yeah.
We're not conditioning anything. We're not saying I need a second chance from you. We're saying I need a chance. We're not saying I'm starting over. We're saying I'm starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Empowerment Duo family, from
Who
this day
qualifiers?
forward,
Come on.
I need you to avoid being mentally incarcerated. And when you find yourself not letting go of some things you have done in the past, meditating on something that you should have done differently, let it go. I need you to find that key, and I need you to unlock that cell, and I need you to free your mind so that you can open your mind to what is possible for you. And as I told that gentleman, and I'm telling you, men and women, the same thing. If you are a woman, I need you to carry yourself like a queen.
Mhm.
And when men open the door for you, or when you walk into the room, I want them to see your regalness,
Come on, Mark.
your beauty, inside and out. And I want them to look at you and say, there she is. To the men, I need you to carry yourself like a king. And that when you walk into the room, everybody knows there goes someone. He hasn't said a word, but I can tell just by the way he carries himself. Something unique and special.
Mhm.
Because that is the only way that you walk this planet from this day forward.
Come on.
Mistakes you have made were not mistakes, they were lessons. And if you've learned from them, if you've grown from them, if you've manifested something positive from them, the world belongs to you. So never hold your head down. Never identify yourself as someone or something that you are not. I repeat, you are kings and queens. You are royalty. And you better do everything in your power to plant that seed in your mind and carry yourself that way. That's all I have for this morning, everybody. I say it every week, and I'm saying it to you again. You are anointed, appointed, and destined for greatness. And in your greatness is that royalty.
Yeah, man.
We'll talk to you again soon. Peace.
Fantastic. Wow. I love Mark's message today. But you know one thing I really love about it? Not only was it inspirational, motivation, but it was very, very practical
Mhm.
and instructional. He didn't just tell you to do it, he told you how to do it.
Mhm.
What's your name? You're getting freed up today. Free yourself from that today. He taught you how to do it. I really wish Mark Greer was in the room right now
Man,
so we
that's
could say that
right.
down.
That's right. Said it is different when a black man says it.
Doesn't
Thanks, Mark. Absolutely,
speak,
it
Brother
does.
Mark? You saying something this morning?
Come on now. Amen.
That's right. That's right.
Amen. I'm so
Get the discernment.
grateful.
Someone said.
Yes. Amen. I'm grateful that this resonated. Susan said, I need to listen to this again. Dr. Deborah said, yes, renew your mind, get free, and stay free. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I really love Mark Greer's message, and yet again, it's timely.
Susan brings up, she says, it is important to take the transition from single mom to wife. My husband and I promised we would never fight in front of anyone else. We show a united front. I love that. I'm gonna ask to tweak it just a little bit more. It's okay to fight, but remember that's not your enemy. It's okay to disagree in front of someone else respectfully. It's actually teaching them how to disagree effectively.
People have said that about us. We even disagree nicely because we respect each other. That's fine. My mother says it all the time. They even fight like they nice. Okay, because she's not my enemy. She's my
No.
freaking wife.
And at the end of the day, even if we disagree, we are going to have to find some footing that we can agree on.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to find that footing if you don't communicate or argue or discuss or fight.
All right. Mark Greer, thank you for being in the room. Mark Greer, I love your message today. The practicality of it, the common sense, the step-by-stepfulness of it, the story of, that young man. What's your name? That's who you are. Be a king, be a queen, act like it, be regal, show up that way. That's instructional. Mark Greer says, and I'm going to read this in my attempt at Mark Greer voice. The saying goes, free your mind, and your ass will follow. I left the word out because this is a family show.
But he didn't leave it out.
With that said, Grand Rising fam.
Grand Rising, Brother Mark. And thank you, Desiree. We love you back.
Love you guys.
Love you.
I think I did a little bit better Mark Greer voice today than last time.
We're proud of you.
I'm getting my voice back, Mark. I've told the story on here before. Zig Ziglar, who was a famous sales trainer in the 80s, particularly. He was doing a seminar and he saw a woman sitting by herself in the front row. And he said to her, "Are you here with a group?" And she goes, "No, I'm divorced." He goes, "Well, did you come with anybody else?" She goes, No, I'm divorced. She identified. He didn't ask her if he was married or single or divorced.
That was all that she could see herself as.
That's all she could see herself as in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, No, that's not who you are. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important, particularly when I'm working with women at different stages and different evolutions, because life be lifing, right? There's a couple of things that we get to embrace, and there's also a couple of things that we get to release.
Now, that's right. Are you talking about Reverend Ike or Rec Ike or something? Because if we talk about Reverend Ike, we just listened to Reverend Ike in the car the other day.
Yeah, we did. Susan said, I would say that's true for us, but if we're angry, we discuss it in private. We do have discussions around other people as long as we're not mad. Absolutely, I get it. And the thing is, you shouldn't have any discussions even with each other when you're mad.
Reverend Ike, we know him, we love him. He was ahead of his time. He was a prosperity preacher when it wasn't popular to be a prosperity preacher. Okay.
Oh, Rev Mike.
Yes.
I like Rev.
Yeah, I like him too. And if you listen to his word, it's timely even today. Reverend
Absolutely.
Ike. You know who else? One of the first workshops we did together, where I think it was at your church, and Shavar was there. Remember Shavar?
Mm-hmm.
And after I had given my talk, you had given your talk. He's like, "Man, do you guys know Reverend Ike in the foyer?" Yeah, I want you to pay attention to Reverend Ike. I said, "Yeah, man, I know who he is." But it's interesting he brought it up right then. You know, it's interesting that it's coming to my mind right now. I love your story, Mark Greer, today. Thank you very much for that. In my life, I've had two moments where I was there for someone the moments they got out of jail. Like right within the hour of them getting out of jail. One was I was uptown here in Charlotte, the first time I lived here in Charlotte. And I don't know what I was doing uptown, but I was uptown. I was probably dressed nicely. And this young lady, she came out the courthouse area. She was walking fast and she had enthusiasm on her face. And she goes, she came up to me, you know, "I just got out of jail." I didn't ask her anything because I didn't ask her a thing, but maybe my face looked approachable. Okay. So she goes, "I just got out of jail." I said, "You just got out?" "Yeah, just now." I said, "Okay, what do you miss? What are you looking most forward to?" That's what I said to her. I don't even know why that came to me. She goes, "Food."
I know that.
That was all she was probably going to go straight to the restaurant and get a sandwich, a burger, or something. She was looking forward to some food with enthusiasm. And the other time I was there when someone just got out of jail. It was in Greensboro. And I was at a Goodwill looking for used furniture for my new apartment. I was looking at used furniture. I ended up buying some cool stuff there. And there's this young black man came in, went up to the counter. While I was in there shopping, he went up to the counter and goes, "Look, I just got out of jail and I have nothing. I have nowhere to go. I have no money. I don't know what I'm going to do." He says this to the girl at the counter at the Goodwill. And someone must have said, "Go to Goodwill if you don't know." He had nowhere to go, but they let him out of jail. You know, that man right there needed a lot of help right in that moment. And I just always thought I didn't talk to him, but I found it prodigious that it stuck to me. He's freed from jail, but with nowhere to go. And no help and no guidance, no nothing. And I'm hoping that Goodwill helped him right then.
I hope so as well. I hope so as
I'm sure he landed somewhere. Today's topic is, who are you here to serve? Who are you here to serve?
And it's evolved a couple of times because honestly, who you're here to serve may evolve. One of the
Service is the price you pay for the space you occupy here on this planet. Who said that? Martin Luther King.
One of the things that I realized is some of the things that I felt were my calling have evolved. Honey, I can help other. No, it's not. my calling, besides women, is still women, but it was also children and girls.
I was thinking the same thing. At one time, you were Mama Lisa.
Yes.
That's it.
And
not no more.
I still love the children. I still love that, definitely. But I am in a position where it's time to train the trainer and support the teacher versus doing the work with the children directly,
Yes.
except in small sparks.
Usama Ra was driving, so mainly listening in the gym parking lot, but loved the goodwill and Mark's word today. Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Amen.
I do too.
It is time for Today in African American History, 366 Days of Historical Events and Accomplishments by Michael A. Carson, our resident African American history.
Today in African American history. Today is June the 3rd, 2026.
Yes, it is. And on this day in history, in 1997, professional golf and tennis player Althea Gibson won 11 Grand Slam tournaments, including 6 doubles titles, appeared on the breakfast cereal box Wheaties. Wow. Gibson was known as one of the greatest tennis players who ever lived.
Let's talk about her, Althea Gibson, black woman, tall. She was a very good student in high school. Mm-hmm. She was also a great athlete. She was on the track team. She was on the basketball team. She played tennis. Okay, and she grew into golf. So she was an athlete, but she was very, very smart. So she became a professional tennis player at a time, because she did this in the 60s. That she was recognized in the 90s, but she did this in the 60s. A tall black woman, okay, athletic. She did this in the 60s, and she was the first black woman to win at Wimbledon, which is an all-grass court in England. She won there. She won all these titles as a black woman, and most of the time, she was the only black woman represented in these tournaments. She dealt with the racism. She dealt with the ostracization of it.
You did it! Oh, you got that out. Hey,
I got that big word out.
Byron says, Dr. Auntie looking good in that green. Yes, showed it all out, and I got that on tight to let them know.
Yeah. You know what? I often sit with my arm around my wife everywhere, even in church. I always go back to when you mentioned that. It reminded me of Bishop Saunders. One day we were in church, and I had my arm around my wife during service, which I always do. Mm-hmm. And he came up there and he goes, Minister Brian just taught me something, y'all. Look at how he sits with his wife.
Amen. Amen. Yes. Dr. Jefferson says not many black people were recognized in tennis during those times. Well, there weren't any black people in tennis during those times.
Because doors were closed to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Sheila.
Wow, Dr. Sheila Gothard, I thought about you just yesterday. I'm happy to see you here. She goes, good morning. I know I'm late, but shoulder, hair, clock it. Shoulder and hair, clock it.
Hey, man, you've been over there loving on Miss Kennedy?
And the earring. Don't forget the earring.
That's right.
Today's topic, who are you here to serve? Yes, you are. You're here to serve someone. Byron McDougall says,
Aretha Franklin's single Respect went #1 on June 3rd, 1967.
Thank you very much for bringing some history. 1967, Respect went on June the 3rd. Now, I was born in 67.
I was born in 68.
But I wasn't born until November. So Respect was the #1 hit before I was even born.
That's right. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
That's how a lot of people learn how to even spell that word, was the song. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. Mm-hmm. And to find out, do the work and find out what that means to me.
Absolutely. So last night in Women's Women's Empowerment Network.
What's Women's Empowerment Network?
Women's Empowerment Network is an opportunity for women of all ages to come together in business, in spirit, and in life.
Virtually.
Mm-hmm. And we encourage one another, celebrate one another, and support one another. Every single time it knocks my socks off. It blows my mind. I'm grateful. We had some new guests on last night. We had some younger guests. Today, last night was the first time we had 3 under 30s in the room, and they were wonderful.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah,
we had
3 women under 30.
And 2 of the 3 were authors. That's awesome. Absolutely.
So the Women's Empowerment Network, they meet virtually on the 1st and the 3rd Tuesday of every calendar month. Yes, it's the first Tuesday of the month. At the same time, Male Empowerment Network meet on the 1st and the 3rd Tuesday of every calendar month. We've been doing this twice a month since 2013. Yes, we have. Twice a month since 2013.
And if you were here at the beginning of the show, you'll know that we met each other in 2015.
Yeah.
Which means that we have both ministries going parallel in separate cities by the same name.
Hour and a half away.
Absolutely, before we even knew each other.
I was with Male Empowerment Networks in Greensboro. She was on Women Empowerment Networks in Charlotte. And we got together. We already had our organizations going on. And it's interesting about that story.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it interesting that we were both operating in that capacity, but you and Kamika had prayed for someone.
We were praying for you, and you were praying for me.
I was praying for a wife, yes.
Right, I was praying for a man to serve men.
Yes. You were praying for a husband.
I wasn't praying. I'm glad I got one.
Right. Susan DrLisa, I'm sorry I missed last night. I will be there next week.
We missed you. You were talking about.
We won't be there.
Night.
We won't be here next Tuesday.
No, the third Tuesday.
Yes. Dr. Deborah says.
Amen. Dr. Deborah says, our WIN session last night confirmed for me a word from God and a request from a funder. I'm on it. Amen. Amen.
Oh my God. That's when the ministry is working right. It's applying to your life immediately. Male Empowerment Networks last night was amazing. This is our second meeting in a row. We talked about men's health, and the suggestions was amazing last night. We were all encouraged. We laughed. Last night we laughed so much. We just was laughing, but we were learning also.
What we learned a lot, what we realized a lot was the power of your personal testimony. One of the ladies said, we should have a testimony night. I said, every time we meet is a testimony night, because the first thing that I ask you is, who are you and what can we celebrate you for? That means what you've gone through to become who you are and what we can celebrate that you have gone through. We had some very provocative sharing, and I had the opportunity to remind some of the newer ladies, we don't record this session on purpose.
That's right.
Because it is a place to be transparent with your sisters, even if you don't can't physically touch them. We had Arizona, Los Angeles, and Wilmington, Tennessee, North Carolina in 2 places, here 3 places in North Carolina, all on the call, all on the call represented, and multiple different ages from 70 to 28, but they all had the opportunity to realize that A, we can learn from each other, B, we have something to teach someone else, no matter how old or young you are, and that we get to respect our past. Your past does not define you. Your past is a part of what created you. It's not a chain.
Men and women is a part of what we do. It's part of who we are. It's who we're here to serve. Even though we meet twice a month, it's all the time with me for the men. I make myself available to the men all the time. My wife makes herself available at any time. That's what we do. That's part of who we are. That's part of our life's ministry. Miss Phyllis says.
I think when you said that, it really opened up about telling their story. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That took some creative reading right there, because to speak jack that old thing up.
It's all right.
But I'm grateful. But yes, it did. It really did. We ended up having lots of love for individuals that might be going through difficult situations, because guess what? We've all been there.
Tonight is Wednesday, is game one of the NBA Finals. My beloved New York Knicks are in the finals. They're going to be playing in San Antonio against the San Antonio Spurs with Victor Wembanyama. But the Knicks got Jalen Brunson. They got Cat. We got a team too. So tonight's game one. San Antonio's favored to win the series. Uh, Out of 13 pundits, 10 always pick San Antonio. Okay, only 3 picks New York, but I'm rooting for New York Knicks. So tonight, and I'm praying that Knicks win tonight on the road. We're killing them. So at 8 o'clock tonight, those of you who need to be reminded, that's what you need to be. You need to be rooting for the Knicks, the New York Knicks.
And tonight at 7 p.m. for those of you who want a little girl time and girl talk, myself and Shaki are going to be glowing in the room at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube for some girl talk. And our topic for tonight is showing up in beauty.
All right, it's 9:40 now. It's time that we've set aside to start saying thank you to our consistent contributors. Now, if this is your first time here, buckle up. Just let it ride, okay? Don't try to analyze it. It ain't gonna make a whole lot of sense to you. Okay?
Buckle up, buttercup.
But we say thank you to our consistent contributors with greeting songs and with greeting logos. What? Yes, we do. For example, up first today is Mr. Uzama Ra. He's got a song that goes,
Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King.
Uzama.
Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama.
You guys are singing a song with his name in it? Yes. Why? Because he's a consistent contributor. What's a contributor? Someone who puts stuff in the comment section that we can read aloud. Desiree Lee, if you keep coming, you're going to get you a song too, like Dr. Deborah has one.
Dr. Deborah, non-profit strategist and funding coach.
That's Dr. Deborah's greeting song.
Absolutely.
She got a song? Yes, she does, and she deserves it. Up next is Susan Kendi. Susan Kendi, you're everything I've hoped for.
You're everything I need.
You are so beautiful.
Baby.
That's Susan Kennedy's greeting song. She got a song. Yes, she contributes. This podcast is driven by the comment section. Whoa. I think I missed one. Miss Phyllis. Miss Phyllis has one. Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis is here.
So clear the way.
Miss Phyllis
is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis.
Good morning. Good morning.
Desiree, you've been kicking butt today, girl.
In the comments, amen.
Love it. Mark Greer's got a jam too, and it goes, wait. I've learned my lesson.
You learned your lesson.
Take a sip of water before you do Mark. Mark Greer jam goes like this. So wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. That's Mark Greer's jam.
Absolutely.
DJ B1 is in his house, also known as Byron McDougal, our DJ. We love him very much. Dr. Sheila Dothert has a song too.
Sheila. Storms are brewing in her eyes.
Oh, that's Dr. Sheila's jam right there. How did she get a jam? She contributes to this podcast. She does.
Amen.
Dr. Beverly has one too, and it goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly.
Hey, good morning to
you and the rest of your crew. Good morning, because she's often watching us while she's at work. Her crew members get to see it. Sheila always comes with the, oh.
We hope that you enjoyed your Wisdom Wednesday morning with us, and you take some time to reflect on who you are here to serve.
We got time today, and I want to delve some more. Into who are you here to serve, and because it gives your life meaning. In those times when you're not serving, when you're not doing the work that you're here to do, I'm going to go ahead and say you're probably not as happy. But when you are serving, especially the people that you're here specifically to serve, then you're happier. The people that you are here to serve, only you can serve them. Did you hear what I said? I didn't stutter. Did I stutter? You did right there.
Amen. Dr. Deborah says, dancing into my day with the songs. Amen. That's the way to start your day.
And we're so happy that you are.
Waking up is the empowerment.
Okay, because if you had said the best part of waking up was Folgers
in your no,
I can think of other ways that are better, a better part of waking up than coffee. It's a catchy song, but it better not be your mantra. The best part of waking up. Please. I like it when I wake up. Okay, so
that's the best part of waking up is waking up.
I like it. And then when I wake up in the mornings.
Oh. Come and get him.
That's my preferred time. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. But this is Wisdom Wednesday too. Let's go ahead and go the other thing too. We want our people on a 5-day work week. Right. We want you. Okay, we encourage you to do that. Mm-hmm. And any work you do on the weekends, consider it bonus. Mm-hmm. Most of our friends are in the entrepreneurial space. Mondays set the pace for your week, and it's the most important day of the work week we consider. Mm-hmm. But Wednesday is the second most important day of the work week. Why is Wednesday the second most important day of the work week? Because Wednesday is smack dab in the middle of the week, and we count Wednesdays as evaluation days. Wednesdays are evaluation days. We encourage you, my girl Desiree Lee, on Wednesdays, we encourage you to ask yourself 2 questions on a Wednesday. And no matter what time you choose, but at some point, ask yourself this question today. These 2 questions. Number 1 is, what am I doing correctly? This based upon this calendar week, or even what am I doing kind of correctly? You don't even have to be doing it 100% right, even a little bit right. That's all. Right. Almost right. Tantamount to a baby learning to walk. They made it from the coffee table to the couch. That wasn't real walking, but it was something.
It wasn't nothing.
It wasn't nothing. It was something, okay? So ask yourself and answer for yourself. Based upon this week, this Monday, this Tuesday, and up whatever point you're at, what am I doing correctly? You'll say stuff like, I'm spending enough time doing this, or I'm not spending, or I'm spending, I'm making the reach out, I'm connecting, I'm doing something, I'm showing up. Whatever it is, find it. But question number 2, note how it's worded. Question number 1 is, what am I doing correctly? Question number 2 is, if I had this time to do over again, what would I have done differently? Note, I don't want you to ask yourself, what are you doing wrong? I want you to ask yourself, if you had this time to do over again, what would you have done differently? This is a tricky question because people sometimes they knee jerk and they say, I would have done a thing differently. I want you to find something. Okay, you're not perfect, and you don't make it through any days operating perfectly.
And I think that also begs an additional clarification. It's not what did you do wrong and need to fix. What could you have done differently that could have accelerated your progress in some way,
or made it easier, or better, or whatever.
Whatever the case might be, but sometimes just taking a second and asking the right questions.
What would I have done differently? I would have spent more time on that. I wouldn't spend as much time on that. Finding the things differently. This is on a Japanese concept called Kaizen, Kaizen. It's the science of continuous improvement. Further on in the same philosophy is the focus on getting 1% better in the key areas of your life week to week. 1% better in your relationship, 1%. That much better. Okay? 1% better in your presentation skills, 1% better in your communication skills, 1% better in your friendliness, 1% better in your sense of humor, 1% better in whatever. Okay. If you get 1% better, there's 100%. Okay. If you get 1% better, not 99, just 1% better from week to week, you're on the process of continually improving. That's how life works. After about 4 weeks of focusing on getting 1% better, you're not 4% better. You're like 40% better. It's exponential. That's what happens.
Absolutely. we're so glad you spent this time with us this morning. We hope to see you again on Friday. But shout out Friday, where we get to learn a little bit more about who you are, what you do, what businesses you have, and what we can celebrate you for. And in the meantime and in between time,
We did what we had to do, babe. We did.
so don't forget to have sex.
Yes.
We love you. Have an amazing day.